They have high hopes and a whole lot of motivation. The danger is virtual, but the excitement is real. Any night of the week, they're their league's heroes. And they live for the thrill of victory. It's Sunday Night Thunder. NARC No Limit is open for business. Welcome, race fans, to Weedsport, New York, where the Victory Fuel No Limit Sprint cars are taking the track tonight here at what is likely our most unique track on the circuit. Not just the most unique track for the No Limit cars, this is the most unique track that any National Auto Racing Club league visits the entire year. This track, shaped kind of like an egg, has corners that look very different on each end. Not only for a challenge for the faster sprint cars, but a challenge for the modifieds, the big blocks, the late models, all of the cars here. A track that is known for really great racing, a track that is known to change a ton throughout the year. NARC's visited Weedsport in the 410 sprint cars 6 different times with 5 different winners, but No Limit has not been here once. All-time NARC wins going to go to Tyler Schell, Greg LeMay, and Gunnar Harris, with each sharing 3 each. And obviously we've got Tyler in the field tonight looking for an opportunity to make that one more win here at Weedsport. This 3/8 mile track will be tricky for all of these guys tonight. We expect a lot of banging and wheel banging and a lot of challenges from guys just struggling to figure the track out as it changes throughout the night. Well, we got cars on the track taking hot laps. We've got our pit reporter, Christian McCartney, down in the pits tonight. Christian, what have you got for us tonight? And I think Gulfdot's challenge really interesting. Not only that, kind of hard charger who can drive through the field. And, by the way, there are no EOLs for people. If they choose to kind of manually take an EOL, they're kind of on their own and they're going to miss out on qualifying heat points and things like that. So, do you have guys that got a bad pill draw? Maybe start to look at going after that hard charger. Who knows? But the most interesting is that clean racing award. And that's something that is going to be very interesting to see among these drivers, because among the drivers that we have here, we have actually some of the most clean drivers in all of iRacing. While it may not always seem that iRacing is super clean, drivers like Tyler Schell and Vinny Sansone, they are very clean race car drivers. And so far this season, if we look at some of the cleanest drivers on the circuit, we've got Tyler Schell and Bradley Cox and Ryan Scheidt Vinny Sansone, James Newton, Dean Reynolds, Joe Howe, all of those guys just with 0.01 incidents per corner. So that's 0.01 pieces of contact per corner for those guys. And we only got 3 races here, so it's going to be a tight battle if they want to win that trophy. Well, it looks like the cars are off the track for hot laps, and they are starting to line them up in the chute for qualifying. Our qualifying event sponsored by Turn 2 Terribles. Turn 2 Terribles Quick Time Award tonight will also garner a new track record here at Weedsport. While we have a number of races here for National Auto Racing Club, we do not have a recorded track record. Some of this comes from a reset of our track records as a community when a new sprint car build came out a little over a year and a half ago. And when we reset all the track records, we have not brought the 410 sprint car back to Weedsport since then. So there is no NARC track record in the 410 sprint car here tonight. So whoever wins this Quick Time Award presented by Turn 2 Terribles will also walk away with the National Auto Racing Club track record. Just waiting on race control to kind of clear them and push the first car out. Well, as we get ready for qualifying here, we'll talk about some quick picks. And you know, my pick tonight, same as last week, it's going to be Braden Eiler. Braden had some bad luck as the night went on, but in general, I think he's definitely got a shot at it here tonight. Talked to Christian earlier. Christian is picking Ryan Avila with 2 wins in a row. It's going to be hard to beat him. And Brandon has his money on Chad Griggs, who's also been really great. Anyway, for Turn 2 Terribles qualifying our first car on the speedway, driving the number 29 Turn 5 25 Enterprises EPI Victory Fuel Triple X from Bloomington, Indiana. This is Steven Stewart. Stewart's first lap at 12:46. See if he can do any better here for lap 2. Lap 2 for Steven, going to be at 12:39, a little bit of an improvement. The next car out on the track, driving the number 27 from Jefferson City, Missouri. The Aces Up SimSport Finish Line Racing Designs, Maxim, powered by Morrison. This is Chad Griggs. Chad right up on the cushion in turn 1 here. Definitely appears to be probably where the speed's going to be. Chad's first lap at 12:09. That's good enough for the pole at the moment. Let's see if he can improve in lap 2. Goes to the bottom of the track in 3 and 4. Tags the wall. That 12:09 is going to hold. New provisional pole sitter Chad Griggs with a 12:09. Next car out on the speedway, driving the number 79. From North Syracuse, New York, in the Full Throttle Motorsports World of Outlaws Dirt Vision machine, this is Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds out on the track for lap number 1 here. Dean kind of again running that top side of the speedway. First lap for Dean going to be 12:37, good enough for second spot. He is going to kind of stay on the top of the track here for lap number 2. And that's not going to be enough for an improvement. Rolling out next in the Christensen Racing number 16 from Belvidere, Texas. This is Jeremy Christensen. Jeremy takes the green flag here. You'll notice the cars are crossing the finish line one time before we give them the green flag. We do give them a full warm-up lap. Lap number 1 for Christensen here going to be a 12:71. Good enough to put him in 4th at the moment. Lap number 2 for Christensen going to be 12:61. Faster, but not enough for an improvement. Next car out on the speedway, driving the number 28, Black Dog Motorsports Grid Lounge, Sweary Carry Designs from Iowa City, Iowa. This is No Limit founder Reese Reimers. Reese takes the green flag, looks a little loose there, coming off of turn number 4. Drives it in hard into turn 1 and 2. Down to the bottom. Oh, Reimer into the wall. And upside down, that's going to bring out the red. Checking in on Reese. It looks like he is okay down there. Next car out on the speedway, another No Limit founder from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, driving the number 32, 25 Enterprises. Driving the number 32 Brent Marks Sim Team, Turn 2 Terribles, Jeremy Zarfos Photography, McGrew Bid, Maxim. This is Christopher Lynn. Chris Lynn from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Chris drives it hard on the top into turn number 1. You could almost see that car come up onto 2 wheels. First lap for Chris Lynn going to be 12:49, good enough for 4th. He gets a little bit of wall contact there on lap 2. Next car out, driving the number 518 from Dwaynesburg, New York. The Inferno Motorsports Catalytic Recovery EPI West End Towing and Repair XXX. This is Joseph Grandy in the 518. Grandy's first lap, 12:22. Good enough to put him into 2nd spot. Let's see, he may have something for this track record. Let's see what he's got. Coming off of turn 4, looks really smooth. 2nd lap for Grandy is going to be 12:33, not an improvement for lap number 2. Joseph Grandy slots into 2nd. Next car out on the track, driving the number 73 from St. Louis, Missouri, the Scott Thompson Racing Rockin' K Jess and Jim's Midwest Barbecue Machine. This is Larry Moody. Larry Moody driving the number 73. Moody's first lap. It'll be a 12:97, good enough to slot him into 7th. Larry's 2nd lap, 12:98, not an improvement. Christian, I think you got an update down there from Reimers after his incidents. All right, so Reimer's going to a backup car early. Not a great way to start the night. Rolling on to the speedway, the number 007 from Hilton Head, South Carolina, the Jeremy Childers Racing entry. This is Jeremy Childers. Jeremy Childers' first lap at 12:72, good enough to slot him into 7th position at the moment. His second lap, going to again stay up top here in 3 and 4. Not straight on entry. 1261. Sorry, 1269 for Childers' second lap. Will not be an improvement. Rolling out next from Bradford, Pennsylvania, in the Old Man Motorsports Victory Sim entry, the number 97. This is Richard Obermeyer, another No Limit founder. Richard getting better every week in the sprint car. Richard's first lap going to be 13:26. Good enough for 10th at the moment. Ooh, a little squirrely on the exit of 4 there. That 13:25 will hold. That will slot him into 10th at the moment. Next car out. Driving the number 17 from Olathe, Kansas. The Cadenberry Motorsports, Derek's Actions Footer Speed Factory, Axis Construction, Triple X. This is Jack Burke. Jack Burke in the 17. Jack all the way up to the top of the speedway. A very deep entry into 1. Jack's first lap going to be a 12:59. 12:59 on lap 1. Good enough to slot him into 6th at the moment. He goes down to the bottom here in 3 and 4. An improvement. 12:38 slots Burke up into the 4th position now. Rolling out next in the number 57 from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, driving the Kamikaze Motorsports, JG Motorsports Turn 2 Terribles entry. This is Austin Griffey. Austin Griffey in the 57. Austin comes around for lap number 1. Going to be a 12:45. Good enough to slot him into 6th position. Second lap looks pretty clean. Let's see if it's an improvement. Not an improvement. Yes, an improvement. 12:37. That's going to slot him into 3rd position at the moment. Next car out, last week's Hard Charger. I'm not sure if that's right. That's the note I have, but I don't think that's right. I think that was Kenny Hoffman. Anyway, driving the number 07 from Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania, in the Kenny Hoffman Racing Aces of Sim Sports, Dudek Design, Bocus Build Sprints, Frogger. This is Connor Dudek. Connor Dudek's first lap at 12:23 slots him into 3rd position. Dudek's second lap, not an improvement. That's going to keep him in 3rd position. Connor just coming off the regular NARC season, Big Block and 358 Modified Championship, won that straight through this season. Next car out on the track from Owasso, Michigan, in the Royalty Motorsports Majestic Promotion Branding and Apparel, SM Royalty Racing Network, DGHA Designs, Triple X with a Kistler. This is Joseph Groom in the number 11. Joseph comes off turn 4 to take the white flag. And first lap for Joseph. Going to slot him into 14th. 13:27. Second lap for Groom going to be 13:22. A little bit of an improvement there for him. That will slot him into 13th place. Next up, driving the number 85, Elbows Up Sim Sports, Aces Up Sim Sports, More Than Tires Paints by Tunica and RPM. This is the number 85 of Tyler Schell. Tyler from Millersburg, Pennsylvania. 17-410 sprint car wins here in National Auto Racing Club. Tyler's first lap at 12:32 slots him into 4th. Tyler driving a much different line here on lap number 2 than everybody else, and little squirrely on exit. I don't know that that's going to be an improvement, and it's not. Tyler Schell will hold that 12:32, sliding him into 4th position. Next car out from Coldwater, Ohio. In the number 26, Jonathan Paquette Motorsports, Klosterman Engraving and Design, M9 Performance, JPR Maxim. This is Nick Klosterman. Nick Klosterman in the number 26. Nick's first lap going to be a 12:58, good enough for 10th spot at the moment. Nick's second lap, not going to be an improvement. Klosterman sits in 10th at the moment. Next car out on track. Driving the number 1 from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Last week's hard charger, the Kenny Hoffman Racing Aces Up SimSport Fusion Setups Maxim, powered by Don Ott. This is Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman's first lap. Be a 12:40. Good enough for 9th position. Hoffman's second lap here. Gonna hold that 12:40. 12:45 for that second lap. Next car out, driving the number 33 from Roseburg, Oregon. The Aero SimSports CD Cinematography, Gage Stephen Designs, Ashton Mueller Racing Setups, XXX, powered by Don Ott. This is Ashton Mueller in the 33. Everybody running that deep dive into turn 1 now, all the way up to the wall. That is becoming the common line here in qualifying. Mueller's first lap going to be the 12:37, good enough for 6th spot at the moment. Mueller's second lap looks really smooth off the exit of 3 and 4. And that's going to be quicker. 12:22 slots Mueller into 3rd spot. Ashton Mueller into 3rd place. Next up, driving the number 99 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Full Throttle Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series entry of Gavin Chatham. Gavin Chatham from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. See what Chatham has here. Chatham all the way against the wall in 3 and 4. Chatham's first lap going to be a 12:38, and woo! A little bit squirrely on the entry of 1, and that is going to take everything away from this lap that would have made it good. He's off the throttle. He's going to pull that car in and take his 12:38, which will slot him into 9th position at the moment. Rolling on to the Speedway next, the No Limit founder driving the number 6 from Fremont, Ohio, in the Watson Motorsports GolfDots.com XXX. This is Mike Watson. Mike a little bit squirrely on the exit of 4 there, slides all the way up to the wall in 1 and 2. I want to apologize, I've got a note wrong here. Watson not from Fremont, Ohio. He's from Bella Vista, Arkansas. Watson's first lap will put him in 16th. Be a 12:80. 12:80 for the second lap as well. Locks him into 16th. The next car out, another No Limit founder from Reading, Pennsylvania, with 6 410 sprint car wins, putting him 3rd all time. In the Black Diamond Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, 1-9 Designs, Mach 1. This is Trevor Royer. Trevor Royer in the number 90. Trevor having a really rough season here in No Limit. Our invitational champion has failed to finish all the races this season. Trevor's first lap did not register for me. We're going to slot in 13th there with a 12:54, a little delayed from timing and scoring. Next up is going to be from Cottage Grove, Oregon, in the number 2, Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 photography. This is Kellen Sabo. Kellen Sabo with a 12:31 on lap 1 slots into the 5th position. All the way to the bottom here on lap number 2. Looks really clean on exit. All of those Tanner Pettit cars have looked really good on exit. Sabo's going to hold that 12:29 and sit in 5th place. From Taylor's Fall, Minnesota, driving the Delta Sim Sports 25 Enterprise TWR Racing Shocks EPI JR1. This is Miles Jansen. Miles Jansen in the 970. All the way to the top here. First lap's going to be a 12:52, good enough for 14th here. Miles' second lap, going to hold that 12:52. Second lap will not be faster. The next car out in the Delta Sim Sports house car, the number 7 from Franklin, Pennsylvania, in his second week back for No Limit, the Elite Performance Industry TWR Shocks 25 Enterprise XXX from Franklin, PA. This is Braden Eiler. Braden all the way down to the bottom of the speedway. His lap number 1 not going to be super fast. 12:57 slots him into 16th. Braden's second lap a little bit better. 12:46 slots him into 13th. Next car out, filling in for the number 017 Delta Sim Sports machine from Pittsburgh, Indiana. This is Mason Hannigan. Mason Hannigan kind of becoming a super sub this season in No Limit. He subbed a couple times. Mason's first lap at 12:39 slots him into 12th. Second lap going to look very similar. You can see that car very sideways in 3 and 4. At 12:39 looks like it will hold, sliding him into 12th. Next car up from St. Louis, Missouri in the Ironman Motorsports, number 80. This is another NARC No Limit founder, Vinny Sansone. Vinny Sansone finishing second in our midget points that just wrapped up this week by just 1 point to Noah Bowman. Vinny's first lap going to be 12:60, good enough for 19th. Vinny, the all-time winningest driver of National Auto Racing Club. 40 wins and 6 championships. Second lap, a little bit of an improvement, 12:54, good enough for 18th. Next car out from Chico, California in the Tanner Pettit Racing 1425 photography entry, the number 24. This is Tanner Pettit. No need for introduction from Tanner, well known in the sprint car community. 12:20, second quick for Tanner Pettit, late in qualifying. A great lap for lap number 1. Let's see if he's got an improvement. 12:09. That's going to be quick time and a new track record. That will be a rounding decision that chooses that track record there, by the way. Just pointing that out. iRacing is timing scoring is putting Pettit as a 12:09 and Griggs formally as a 12:10. So while the timing and scoring display doesn't show that, that's what that'll line out to. Next car out is going to be the number 4 from San Jose, California, the Ross Kaiser Racing Trackside Collective Entry. This is Ross Kaiser. Kaiser's first lap, a 12:58. Second lap, no improvement. Holds at that 12:58, locks him into 20th position. Next car out, your current no limit point leader and a back-to-back winner in the number 49 from Lemoore, California. Tanner Pettit Racing, Mac Tools 1425 photography, Blake Carrick Racing, Triple X powered by Don Ott. This is Ryan Avila. Brian's first lap, 12:33. That's pretty good for this late in qualifying. That's going to slot him into 8th. Second lap for Ryan, not an improvement. Slots Ryan into 8th position at the moment. The next car out from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, the Inferno Motorsports number 187. This is Rick Main. Rick Main in the 187. Rick also a No Limit founder. Rick absolutely laying it out there. First lap for Rick. I did not see it pop up on the board here. 12:86, that's good enough for 26th. All the way out to the wall. That is an improvement. 12:77 bumps him up to 25th. Rick Main up to 25th. Next car out from Northwood, Iowa. In the Hagen Brothers Hagen Farms entry, this is Brent Hagen. Brent Hagen in the number 95. Hagen's first lap. Hagen's second lap going to be a 12:98, which is an improvement, sliding him up to 28th. Next car out from Lincoln, Nebraska, driving the number 21 Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 photography entry. This is Blake Carrick. Blake Carrick in the 21. Carrick's first lap. 12:51, good enough for 18th position on lap number 1. Second lap for Blake going to be 12:57, not an improvement. Our final qualifier tonight from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, in the number 20 Team SSR School Sim Racing Victory Fuel Personal Evolution Company Shaver Ford. This is Alex Rzinski. Alex Rzinski driving the number 20 tonight. Oh, and he's up in the wall. Rzinski with wall contact, and he will not record a time tonight. Your new track record holder and your pole sitter tonight going to be Tanner Pettit. Tanner Pettit with the new track record and the pole. We'll see if Christian's got anybody down there he wants to talk to real quick. Christian may have somebody after the break. Let's pay off the sponsors for a second. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, well, I knew going out as early as I was going to be going out that it was just too much up on top. That was the line that I was going to have to run. I was hoping that I'd be able to maybe turn a lap on the bottom, but I wasn't certain that I was going to be able to put down the time with as much as there was up top. So I figured the bottom might come in later in qualifying, and some of those guys that are really good at running it might be able to flirt with my time. I was kind of hoping to get burnt off at the same time. I know my buddy Tyler Shell had texted me and said he was going to have something for my time too, but his VR stuttered in 3 and 4 and totally messed up his exit. So I figured some of those guys were going to be on the bottom, and congratulations to Tanner for a hell of a good time that late in qualifying. Thank you, sir.
Nice to hear from Chad. He's had a great season so far this year, has been just so close to pulling something off late and not able to make it. Well, as we get the cars kind of lined up for the heat race, let's talk a little bit about our qualifying sponsor, Turn Two Terribles. You can check them out in their podcast every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, or the next day on whichever podcast platform you prefer. Victory Fuel also has 1.5 times more electrolytes than any leading sports drink. Victory Fuel is your winning source for hydration, all while giving you your daily vitamins in just a 12-ounce can. Sweetened with only 6 grams of natural sugar and no added coloring. You can visit drinkvictory.com to get your Victory Fuel shipped right to your door. Or with racing season starting up now, you can check your closest retailer at the track. Find a Victory Fuel sponsored driver. You may be able to snag some Victory Fuel right out of the back of their trailer. Well, they're pushing the cars out for heat race number 1. Let's go back down to Christian and see if he has anything interesting he's heard in the pits.
Well, definitely some interesting chatter going on. I know that in those qualifying runs, everybody was running the top for the most part, but there was definitely a lot of interest in some of those cars that went out late in that run, running that bottom. I think that's going to be the line here through heats as that bottom starts to come in. Look for drivers to try to use that bottom to make passes.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it gets racy across multiple lines. Well, as we get ready to start School of Sim Racing, heat races here, let's talk about the format. We are at technically a short track, So we will be doing 10 laps. The top 4 finishers will transfer, and the top finisher, the winner of the heat race, and the fastest qualifier with transfers will go to your dash. Starting on the front row of heat race number 1 in the number 32 machine, it's going to be Chris Lynn. And on the outside of row 1, Steven Stewart. The inside of row number 2 will be Austin Griffey. And the outside of row number 2 will be Connor Dudek. The inside of row number 3 will be your pole sitter, Tanner Pettit. And the outside of row number 3 will be the number 80 of Vinny Sansone. Inside of row number 4 will be Jeremy Childers, and the outside of row number 4 will be Brent Hagan. And starting shotgun on this field tonight will be the number 20 of Alex Szerzynski. Looks like they got that 20 car fixed and got Alex back out onto the track. Flags out. Chris Lynn gets off to the early lead. Big pile of cars going into turn number 1. Lynn gets shuffled all the way back to, what is that, 6th position at the moment? And still going back. But out front, Steven Stewart takes the lead. Griffey and Pettit now racing for that top spot. Pettit on the top, just absolutely on fire, and he's into the wall. Pettit's going to lose out. He's got to transfer to go to the... Holy cow. Now we've got Stewart, Szerzynski, and Dudek all kind of battling for rope. Szerzynski, who was a non-qualifier after making contact during qualifying, now looking to push his way into the feature through a transfer spot. Tanner Pettit moves his way back up to 4th after wall contact early. He's on the move now. Just 6 laps to go. Pettit looking at the bottom of the speedway. He's trying to make a move on Szerzynski. Steven Stewart out on a Sunday evening drive out front. Nobody's looking for him. All Tanner Pettit has to do here is transfer, and he will make the dash. Pettit throws the slider on Szerzynski. Szerzynski cuts down. This tail not completely told. Pettit's going to have the advantage on the top in 3 and 4. And Pettit's going to move into the 3rd spot. Now Pettit looking to make a move on Connor Dudek. Connor Dudek continues to run the top in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Pettit wicked fast in 3 and 4 on the top. I mean, considerably faster than everybody. He throws the slider on Connor Dudek. Connor attacks back down on the bottom. Connor makes a move for the lead. Now we're 3 wide off of turn number 4. And that's going to leave Tanner Pettit out front. Oh, but Dudek and... Holy cow. Stewart and Dudek make a little bit of contact. Dudek ends up catching the bad part of that. Szerzynski will end up finishing 3rd, with Austin Griffey in 4th. So Pettit, Stewart, Szerzynski, and Griffey will be your transfers. Pettit and Austin Griffey, who just barely sneaks in, makes it to the dash. Christian, do you have somebody down there to talk to?
Yes, hi Bruce. I've got Steven Stewart here. Steven, take us through those last couple of laps. Insane racing, Dudek with Tanner Pettit there to your inside. Almost seemed to come out of nowhere. Take us through those last exciting laps.
Yeah, well, I know they got together there in 4 early on in the race, and I thought my spotter told me I was pretty well all clear, and then there at the end, I think he said there was 3 to go, and they were charging. And about the time he told me that I had a slider coming, I looked up and it was actually Connor. And then Tanner coming down underneath me, I kind of lifted to let Tanner have it. And then I wanted to not really let Connor have it, but I was trying to just give him that lane. But man, it's slick going up into 2. So, but no, it was fun. It was hairy. Those are some fast guys to be racing against.
For sure. Well, I can tell you, seeing it down here trackside, that was an exciting finish to that race. And congratulations on transferring. We'll look for you to do well in your feature.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Bruce, back up to you.
Our lineup for School of Sim Racing Heat Race number 2. On the inside of row 1 is going to be Blake Carrot. On the outside of row 1 is going to be Mason Hannigan. The inside of row number 2 is going to be Dean Reynolds. Outside of row number 2 is going to be Kellen Sabo. Inside of row number 3 going to be Chad Griggs, your quick qualifier for this heat race. And the outside of row number 3 going to be Ross Kaiser. The inside of row number 4 are going to be Rick Main, and on the outside of row number 4 going to be Reese Reimers. Top 4 transfer winner and fastest qualifier will make it to the dash. Mason Hannigan and Blake Carrot on the front row going to lead them down. Carrot gets off to an early lead. Hannigan slides up to the outside, catches the cushion. He's got the run in 3 and 4. This tail's not told yet, though. Carrot looks good on the bottom. Can't hold Hannigan off. Hannigan has the advantage at lap 1. Ross Kaiser now moving up the pack. Kalen Sabo moving up the pack, on the top side. He's going to follow Hannigan around Carrick. Kaiser moves into 3rd, also getting around Carrick here. Sabo now on the prowl for Mason Hannigan. Kaiser's going to formally clear Carrick here for this lap. Now Chad Griggs making the run. Griggs, your quick qualifier for this heat. In order to make the dash, he's got to pass Carrick. Got to finish in the top 4. Hannigan still holding Sabo off up front. In a straight line, Hannigan, Sabo, Kaiser. Griggs now gets around into the 4th spot as Carrick starts to fall back. Must have had some contact. Hannigan running that slider line in 1 and 2. Allows Sabo to catch right to the tail tank. Sabo's got room to throw the slider in 3 and 4. Hannigan cuts down. Doesn't necessarily have to grip and lined up perfectly for the line he wants to run. In 1 and 2, he goes all the way up to the cushion. Sabo loses a little bit of momentum now. He's under attack from Ross Kaiser. Kaiser down to the bottom of the track. Kaiser pulls off. He's going to have the position at the start-finish line. Just 2 laps to go. Sabo now starting to reel Hannigan back in. Kaiser now kind of committed to the bottom of the track. Kaiser again going to have that position at the end of the turn, but he gets right to Hannigan's tail tank. Hannigan makes a little bit of contact. Now Kellen Sabo clearly in 2nd place. Goes down to the bottom to hold off Ross Kaiser. That's going to be Kellen Sabo pulling the win off there at the very end. So Sabo, Hannigan, Kaiser, and Griggs. Sabo and Griggs will make it to the dash. Your starting lineup for School of Sim Racing Heat number 3. On the inside of row 1, going to be Miles Jansen. The outside of row 1, Kenny Hoffman. Inside of row number 2, Jack Burke. The outside of row number 2, going to be Tyler Shell. Inside of row number 3, your quick qualifier for this heat race going to be Joseph Grandy. Outside of row number 3, going to be Nick Klosterman. The inside of row number 4 will be Mike Watson, followed on the outside by Joseph Groom. 8 cars, 10 laps the distance. Top 4 will transfer with the winner in the fastest qualifier making it to the dash. This definitely set up to be an interesting heat race. Shell more than capable of winning this. Hoffman more than capable of winning this at any point. Jansen more than capable of winning this race. Burke more than capable of winning this race. I think the guy that's got his work cut out for him right now, Joseph Granny, not a traditional sprint car guy. More common in the fenders, but really drives everything. Coming to the green. Jansen and Hoffman. Jansen gets out to the early lead. Hoffman up to the top of the racetrack. Tyler Schell sticking to the top. Hoffman going to throw the slider. Nope, he's going to stick the bottom in 3 and 4. Hoffman, clear leader, coming to the line after lap number 1. Hoffman, Jansen, Schell. Hoffman sticking to the bottom. Burke now putting on a move to Tyler Schell. Tyler Schell pushing really hard in 3 and 4. He will clear Burke. Goes way down to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. That is a heck of an entry by Tyler Schell, and it's going to pay off as he's got a clear bottom line off Jansen off of turn number 4. Now Tyler Schell takes a moment to catch his breath. He's got to reel in Kenny Hoffman, who is now out to an almost 3/4 of a second lead. Schell's coming though. Schell to the bottom of the track. Hoffman at the bottom of the track also in 3 and 4. Now everybody kind of running that bottom line. Hoffman's lead expanding a little bit. Schell not able to reel him in. Further back in the pack, Jansen, Burke, your 2 transfers. Randy got a little bit of work to do to get into a transfer spot. That's what he needs to be able to take advantage of his qualifying position and get into the dash. Schell now reeled in Hoffman. Schell right on his tail tank. Just 3 laps to go as they cross the line. 3 laps to go. Schell on the prowl. Both drivers running the bottom of the speedway. That's where it's fast. See Tyler pedaling it for all he's got down on the bottom, trying to get every last inch. Burke and Jansen not able to pull on them. They're not going to have anything for him. Schell continues to run the bottom of the speedway. He's able to keep a lower exit than Hoffman, but Hoffman has an advantage on the exit 3 and 4. Tyler drives it in deep into 3, gets right to Hoffman's tail tank, but Hoffman will win heat race number 3. Hoffman, Schell, Jansen, Burke, and it will be Hoffman and Schell that make it to the dash. Hoffman and Schell make it to the dash. And our post-heat race interview looks going to be like Miles Jansen maybe down there. Christian, I think I see you over there by his car. Let's see if we can connect with them here in a second. Christian, do you have anybody down there? Miles, maybe?
Yep, I've got Miles here. Miles, heck of a heat there with all kinds of top drivers. Tell us a little bit about what that was like trying to race with Schell and Hoffman and trying to fend off a challenger for Burke right at the end.
Yeah, I was just really hoping that Schell and Kenny wouldn't embarrass me too much, and well, they did. I just tried to just hold my own, keep it straight, keep it clean, and come home with the third.
Well, an excellent run. That'll transfer you into the feature for tonight. What kind of things are you looking for here for prepping for the feature?
Hopefully just copy off what Mason and Braden do. I got a couple of good teammates for tonight, and hopefully we can put together a good show.
All right, looking forward to it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Your 4th and final heat race, presented by School of Sim Racing on the inside of row number 1, going to be Trevor Royer on the outside of Braden Eiler. Inside of row number 2, Gavin Chatham. On the outside, Ryan Avila. Inside of row number 3, your quick qualifier from this heat race going to be Ashton Mueller. Outside of row number 3, Jeremy Christensen. Inside of row number 4, going to be Larry Moody, and outside of row number 4, going to be Richard Obermeyer. 10 laps the distance, top 4 transfer, fastest qualifier, and the winner will make it to the dash. Royer and Eiler on the front row, Avila and Chatham on row number 2. This is a stacked little front 2 rows. Royer gets an early lead. Royer goes to the top of the speedway in 1 and 2. Avila follows him. Eilert running the bottom down there in the Miles Jansen house car. Not able to reel anybody in down there though. Avila and Royer continue on the top. Avila moves down to the bottom, has nothing for it. Loses a lot of grip on the entry. Now Avila's going to try to make something work. Can't pass somebody running the same line they're running. You got to move around. You got to try things, and that's what Ryan's doing. Little note further back in the field, Ashton Mueller had to pull off the track. So your quick qualifier from this heat race, not going to transfer. So that spot is up for the dash. Avila now working the bottom of the speedway. He's going to move almost side to side with Trevor Royer. Royer driving hard into turn number 1. 5 laps to go. Braden Eiler now moving to the top of the speedway. He's trying to make something work. Can he get around Ryan Avila? Avila and Royer both make wall contact. Royer gets away easy. Now Ryan Avila under attack from Braden Eiler. That wall contact on the exit of 2, something we're going to have to keep a lot of an eye on as we move further into the race. There's Eiler doing the same thing now. Really hard to do. It's hard to stop the slide of the car. That corner's so tight. 2 laps to go. Trevor Royer out to a wide lead. Ryan Avila now starting to reel him back in, starting to pull away from Eiler once again. Eiler just doesn't seem to have the speed to grab up with them guys. White flags out, Trevor Royer in the lead. Royer, Avila, Eiler, Chatham now. Gavin Chatham in 4th place. It's going to be your finishing order as they come to the flag. Royer, Avila, Eiler, and Gavin Chatham. Trying to see. I think it's going to be Royer and Avila. I think it's going to be Royer and Avila going to the dash there, but I have not heard officially from race control if that is the case. Waiting for them to update the scoring log here. Yeah, it is going to be Royer and Avila going to the dash. Christian, you have somebody down there after that heat race.
Yes, I was able to duck in here and grab Jeremy Christensen. Jeremy, just missed it out by 1 spot there, but that'll put you in a good starting position here for your consolation race, starting on the front row. Tell us what it's going to take in order to put this car into the feature tonight.
I think the biggest thing will be to keep out of trouble and hit all your points, hit all your lines, all your marks all the way around, not spin the tires because it's slick out there.
Yeah, definitely for sure. You can definitely see the slick starting to show up more and more off the exit of the corners, and certainly really tricky getting into turn 1, it looks like.
Yeah, for sure it is. I don't know what I'm doing as far as with the setup of the car. Try to run low or try to set it up for the high side. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how the last or the C main here rolls off and what they end up doing. But
all right, well, good luck, and yeah, hopefully you can make the right adjustments and put it into the feature tonight.
all right, thanks y'all.
All right, back up to you, Bruce.
Alrighty, as we line up our first of 2 last chance showdowns here. We've got 8 cars taking the grid. On the inside of row number 1, going to be Brent Hagan. On the outside, going to be Joseph Grandy. The inside of row number 2, going to be Jeremy Childress. And on the outside, Nick Klosterman. Inside of row number 3, Christopher Lynn. And the outside, Joseph Green. The inside of row number 4, going to be Vinny Sansone. Followed in 8th place by Mike Watson. 8 cars take this. 4 of them go to the feature to fill out the inside row of our feature. Looks like just 10 laps the distance here for this last chance showdown, just like another heat race. I do have 12 laps, that is right, 12 laps. Hagan gets out to an early lead just for Grandy. It's right up to the cushion. He's going to have a run on the exit of 2. Can't quite pull it off. Stays to the top in 3 and 4. See, Hagan's car just looks very tight in 3 and 4, and Grandy's able to just kind of power around him. Now Klosterman looking to take advantage of that same thing on the top of the track. Hagan's got to get the car underneath him. He kind of moves into the middle, taking advantage of maybe a little bit tighter race car. He's going to hold off Klosterman now. Vinny Sansone all the way up into a transfer position in 4th place right now. Hagan continues to hold off Klosterman. That car just looks really tight in 3 and 4. It does not look like it wants to rotate, but it looks really good in 1 and 2 on the bottom of that slick. Klosterman unable to get the run. The exit of 2. Sticks to the top of the speedway. Gets a little bit loose. Hagan's going to clearly pull out in front of him this time. Car coming, Vinny Sansone. He could make this interesting up here. Doesn't necessarily have to pass anybody, but anybody he doesn't pass now, he's got to pass later. So you want to get him out of the way. Hagan a little loose on the exit of 3 and 4 that time. That's going to let Klosterman get around the outside. Nick Klosterman now into 2nd position. Hagan continues to run the middle of the speedway. Comfort line, as I like to call it. Sansone starts to reel him in a little bit, but Hagan starts to come back to Nick Klosterman a little bit. Klosterman looks very loose up top. Just Grandy out for a Sunday afternoon drive. Vinny Sansone now moving around the racetrack, trying to find something on Brent Hagan, trying to pass him. Ooh, Hagan and Klosterman make a little bit of contact. Klosterman gets bumped back down to 4th, but maintains there. That's going to allow Sansone to get around him. Klosterman drive back around Sansone. Just 2 laps to go as we cross the start-finish line this time. Sansone now driving a little higher line. Definitely starting to pull away from Klosterman. White flags out. He may have a chance here at Brent Hagan. Sansone drives hard into 3 and 4. Hard off the exit of 3 and 4. It's going to be Vinny Sansone coming in 2nd. Joseph Grandy wins last chance race number 1. Followed by Sansone, Hagan, Klosterman, your transfers. Childers, Lynn, Groom, and Watson are done for the night. Christian, you got anybody down there?
Yeah, just grab Nick Klosterman here. Nick, a little bit of a hairy run there, getting into the wall with your battle with Brent Hagan, but still managed to pull it off into a transfer spot and make the feature here. Let us know what it's going to be like here to try to maximize your finishing position here in the feature.
Well, thanks for stopping by. I kind of stepped on my pecker there a little bit. I thought I had 2nd place pretty well solidified, but shit happens. I think we're going to be looking pretty good for the feature. We got little to no expectations starting in the back, and we'll see where we end up.
All right. Well, good luck in the feature, and yeah, hopefully you can make the right adjustments in order to make up some spots, kind of thing. Good luck, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
That takes us to our second last chance showdown. On the inside of row number 1, going to be Rick Main, and the outside of row number 2, going to be Jeremy Christensen. Inside of row number 2, going to be Reese Reimers, and the outside, going to be Larry Moody. Inside of row number 3, Blake Carrick, outside Richard Obermeyer. Inside of row 4, Dean Reynolds, outside going to be Ashton Mealer, and the inside of final row going to be Connor Dudek. Connor got his work cut out for him. Larry Moody a scratch on the night. Green flags out. Main out to an early lead. Christensen all the way up on the top of the speedway. Blake Carrick pushing down on the bottom. Keep an eye on Connor Dudek. He's all the way up now to 6th place. Carrick making a move now on Christensen. Rick Main pulling out to an even farther lead now, almost a second. Christensen gets gobbled up by Carrick. That's going to make it Main, Carrick, Christensen, Mealer, Connor Dudek in 5th. He is now making a move on Ashton Mealer. Connor Dudek moves into a transfer position, and Ashton Mealer gets a little tight on the exit and pulls literally right into pit road. That's going to put Connor Dudek into 4th. Main, Carrick, Christensen, Dudek. Carrick starting to pull in Rick Main now down to 0.3 of a second. Carrick, a huge drive off of turn number 2 down to the middle of the track in 3 and 4. A ton of grip on the exit, but he is driving the wheels off of that thing, and when you drive the wheels off of it, sometimes you will make a mistake. So let's see whether he can hold on to it. Carrick and Main wheel to wheel now. That lap going to go to Rick Main. Main just running consistently, running the same line. Carrick gets a huge run on the exit of 2 yet again. Slides all the way up to the top of the speedway. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable. Connor Dudek now entering the game. Dudek's going to get around Main with 3 laps to go as we cross the line here. Dudek now down to the bottom of Rick Main. Dudek slides to the middle of the speedway, not quite enough to clear the nose of Main. Dudek now clear of Main and now all the way up to the top. He's going to try to reel in Blake Carrick with just 2 laps remaining. 2 laps to go. Blake Carrick pulls out to about a 0.6 of a second lead. It'll be hard for Dudek to reel this in. Dudek is starting to pull away from Rick Main, but the gap between him and Carrick not really changing. That lap, Connor Dudek 0.2 of a second faster. Not going to be enough though as they come out of turn number 4. It's going to be Blake Carrick, Connor Dudek, Rick Main, and Dean Reynolds rounding out your top 4 there to transfer on to our feature. Christian, you've been on a little bit of a walk down there. I think you are hunting down somebody that wasn't in that consolation race.
Yes, Bruce, I'm just running through the pits here, and I've stopped over here at the Griffey pit stall. I see that the crew is working really hard here to make some adjustments. What kind of adjustments are you guys going to make here for this upcoming feature?
Well, looking at towing the engine down here a little bit because this track it has come really slick. Probably take some stagger out, move move the right rear end a little bit, pull the wing back, and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help tighten the car up a little bit for what's going to be quite a slick track. Yeah, anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to here? Some crew members or something?
I'd like to give a shout out to the M9 guys. They're really cool guys, and they've been helping me a lot here past couple weeks. Turn to Terribles, 57 Photography, JG Weedsport, Jeremy Darford Photography. You guys are going on with the race and broadcasting as well.
Thank you very much, and good luck tonight in the future.
Well, thanks, Christian, for another chance to talk to one of the drivers. With that being said, let's see what we're going to learn this week in the School Sim Racing Tech Tip.
Welcome to Tech Tip, presented by the School of Sim Racing. Unlike other sports, where the score carries over between intermissions, caution flags in racing erase the advantages gained by drivers, leveling the playing field, and provide opportunities to gain positions. For this reason, the laps immediately after starts and restarts are among the most intense in the whole race. So how can we take advantage of starts and restarts to maximize our opportunities? Here are some general tips. One of the biggest challenges in e-motorsports is the ability to see cars on your inside and outside, especially if you race on a single monitor setup. So our first tip is to change your look left and look right settings. We recommend that you change your angle to between 30 and 45 degrees in your .ini files, so that on your setup you can see directly ahead while also seeing the cars to the left and the right. In dirt racing, the track changes as cars pass over the surface. When pacing, the track can still change because the cars can pack these marbles back into the track, changing the available racing lines. While under caution, use the time to observe the changing racing line and plan where you should place your car to maximize traction at the start. Avoiding the slick is not always possible, especially critical restarts late in the feature when the entire track is slicked off. Under these conditions, you will need to slowly roll into the throttle to maintain traction and avoid wheel spin. Toggle your level of aggression according to the track conditions. Starting further back in the running order is difficult, but there are a few things you can do to help gain some advantages on starts and restarts. The first is do not try to game the start. If you are deep in the pack, you cannot win the race on the start, but you can lose the race. Do not try to start when the leader goes. Instead, you want to time the start on the car roughly 3 rows ahead. This way, you limit the potential of a black flag for jumping the start, and you can react to the cars making mistakes, such as spinning their tires or firing too late, avoiding a potential incident. Have a plan on where you're going to run so that the moves you make are predictable. If you start on the inside line, it may not be to your advantage to try to cross through traffic to run the top in turn 1 and vice versa. Toggle your level of aggression by risk-reward decision making. When pacing with 1 to green, make sure you maintain a constant pace and a close distance to the car ahead in order to get the best start you can. There is no need to leave a big gap. Where necessary, ride the brakes to maintain RPMs, and avoid speeding up and slamming on the brake. Look ahead to see what cars are doing to anticipate any potential accordion effects, as it can break your momentum at the start. Arguably, the hardest position to start or restart a race in is the outside pole position. To get a good start in this position, you must be able to see the leader and ensure you are fully alongside in order to maximize your start. Setting your turn left and right angles will help significantly to improve your ability to see to your inside, without compromising your ability to drive forward at the start. Often the leader will attempt to game the start based on the moves you make as the outside car. That is, if you slow down, the leader will use your loss of momentum as a cue to fire. It is imperative that you maintain pace with the leader and react in time with whatever the leader does. If you pull ahead of the leader by accident, do not jump the start. Slow down and concede the start, as it is better than a black flag and losing all of your track position. As the first car on the outside line, plan for what you will do if you are alongside the leader entering turn 1, and plan for what you will do if you are behind the leader entering turn 1. Depending on the state of the track, the top line might be the fastest way around, and you will have the advantage. Otherwise, it might be in your best interest to fall into line as quickly as possible if you are not in the ideal racing line, so you can minimize loss of track position. Remember, it is all risk versus reward, and you should tune your aggression accordingly. How should the leader approach starts and restarts? As a leader, you must know the rules for where and when you can fire. Maintain a consistent pace, do not slow down or brake check the field to gain an advantage or cause incidents further back in the field. You are the control car, and it is up to you to start and restart the race cleanly. Watch for cars laying back or speeding up and slowing down. Time your start with their loss in momentum as they try to anticipate your start. Remember that if you slow down to try and confer an advantage, this may be a cue to everyone else of your intention to go. Play your cards close to the chest and time the start based on the cars around you. Getting a good start can make or break a race. The ability to start and restart is as much about looking and planning as it is reacting, and it is a skill seldom practiced and predominantly overlooked by most drivers. But mastering starts and restarts can be the difference between winning and losing. This has been Tech Tip, presented by the School of Sim Racing.
Starts and restarts got to be one of the most critical parts in racing, and something that more racers that we see in school sim racing struggle with than anything else. Even the most seasoned drivers struggle with starts and restarts. Well, they brought the water truck out. They did a little bit of work on the track. It looks totally different now than it did before. We'll see how long that holds on. We are going to run the dash here. So our dash will line up the top 8 cars in tonight's feature. And the lineup order for the dash will be Ryan Avila and Chad Griggs in row 1, Kellen Sabo and Tyler Schell in row 2, Trevor Royer and Tanner Pettit in row 3, Kenny Hoffman and Austin Griffey in row 4. Green flag's out. 6 laps. Ryan Avila gets out to an early lead. A little bit of catastrophe further back in the field as Trevor Royer and Kenny Hoffman make a little bit of contact. Avila gets out to an early lead. His teammate Tanner Pettit following behind him. Tyler Schell trying to make a move on Tanner Pettit now. Everybody kind of running the bottom of the speedway. Oh, Pettit gets super tight on the entry. It's all the way up. Looks like he gets hard into the wall, but kind of recovers. That is going to give Tyler second spot here at the moment. Oh, and Tyler catches the inside wall on the entry of 1. Tanner Pettit the one that catches the worst out of that. 2 laps to go. Ryan Avila, Tyler Schell. So Kellen Sabo there. One lap to go. Sabo making a move here on Tyler Schell. Flag is going to be a Schell Sabo. Looks like Austin Griffey maybe in 4th. We'll get a final order here from timing and scoring here in just a second. So Ryan Avila, Tyler Schell, they've got locked in. Well, while we wait on that, Christian, you are walking over towards maybe Kenny Hoffman's car. Let's see if you can catch him here.
Put it on dig.
Yeah, I'm here with Kenny Hoffman. Kenny, take us through what was an exciting dash. A lot of elbows up racing there.
Absolute carnage. I don't even know what happened the first corner. I thought we were dead. Then incidents in front of me. I don't even know what happened. But hopefully we can go up front in this feature with this Howie motor.
yeah, able to make it through and score a good starting spot. So yeah, good luck with starting up there. Make it a little bit easier on yourself than the last number of weeks being a hard charger. So be good to start up front.
Yeah, definitely. It helps when you perform earlier in the night, so you don't have to be in a bad situation later in the night. So happy that we were able to put ourselves in position, and let's see if we can go in this thing.
Yeah, hopefully you can take that success and it translates into a good feature outcome for you. Hopefully a win.
Yep, thank you.
All right, our final dash finish officially going to be Ryan Avila, Tyler Shell, Kellen Sabo, Kenny Hoffman, Austin Griffey, Trevor Royer, Tanner Pettit, and Chad Griggs did not make it to the finish. Be interesting to see if Griggs is able to get that car fixed, if they get a backup car out, what they manage to do there. So as we wait for the teams to make some final setup adjustments and the lineup cards to get straightened out, let's talk a little bit about School of Sim Racing. Since 2020, School of Sim Racing has been iRacing's go-to place to learn and grow your skills in an open-minded and laid-back environment. Through paid services like our Insider program, giving drivers setups and tip videos for official races each week, and masterclass style training offerings which prepare drivers to earn their iRacing Pro license. Our community-centered learning opportunities that happen for free in our Discord every day, drivers have found SSR to be one of the most valuable resources on the service. Start your journey today at www.schoolofsimracing.net to become an insider and join the SSR Discord to become the best on track that you can be. School of Sim Racing also operates National Auto Racing Club, which is the sanctioning body that hosts this No Limit series. National Auto Racing Club is the go-to league in iRacing for dirt and asphalt oval. With thousands of league races under their belt, NARC has become the standard across dirt in iRacing. Run by former and current drivers, crew members, and officials, NARC's focus is on mutual respect, clean racing, and having a good time on track. Drivers enjoy clean and intense racing where they're able to drive hard and grow on track without worries about pervasive voice chats and messages. NARC drivers recognize that mistakes are going to be made and own up when they make those mistakes, but most importantly, realize that racing doesn't always turn out the way you want it. Join NARC today at www.narcleague.net and start writing your page in the record book. Christian, you have anything down in the infield?
Yeah, Bruce. Throughout the night here, we've been talking a little bit about some of the regular NARC series that we run on a weekly basis, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to some of the guys that did really well here. Blake Andrews taking the UMP championship in the Monday Night Modifieds, to Ryan Wagenschutz winning the SK modifieds. Uh, as we said tonight, Connor Dudek taking the overall Big Block Modified and 358 Modified championship for this season, and to Noah Bowman, who is our Thursday Night Thunder champion in both the midgets and 410 non-wings. So congratulations to those drivers on well-earned championships, and yeah, if everybody else is interested in running the NARC weekly series, go check out schoolofsimracing.net and sign up today for the National Auto Racing Club. Back up to you, Bruce.
Yeah, it's always great to celebrate our champions. Our regular NARC season ending a little earlier this go around than the No Limit season, which is a little bit different than normal. We'll take a couple week break and then probably try to do something in the summer. I will say that for those of you who are regular around NARC, we have the last couple of summers started to kind of slow down a little bit in the summer, just as we find people are off at the real racetrack. They're off working on their race cars, and we want to give them the opportunity to take care of that. We're still waiting on the lineup to come clear from race control. They're finishing up a couple of things.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
All right, we are lining cars up for the feature. Your feature lineup for tonight, starting 24th from North Syracuse, New York, and the number 79, it's Dean Reynolds. And in 23rd, driving the number 26 from Coldwater, Ohio, it's Nick Klosterman. Driving the number 187 and starting 22nd on the field tonight, he is Rick Main from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Driving the number 95 and 21st spot tonight from Northwood, Iowa, it's Brent Hagan. Starting in 20th in the number 07, it is Connor Dudek from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Starting 19th in the number 80 from St. Louis, Missouri, it's Vinny Sansone. Starting 18th in the number 21, it is Blake Carrick. Starting 17th in the 518, it's Joseph Grandy from Duanesburg, New York. Starting 16th in the number 99, it is Gavin Chatham from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And starting 15th in the number 17 from Olathe, Kansas, it's Jack Burke. Starting 14th in the number 4 from San Jose, California, it's Ross Kaiser. And starting 13th from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, in the number 20, it's Alec Szerzynski. Starting 12th in the number 7 from Franklin, Pennsylvania, Braden Eiler. Starting 11th in the 970 from Taylor Falls, Minnesota, it's Miles Jansen. Starting 10th in the number 17 from Pittsburgh, Indiana, it's Mason Hannigan. Starting 9th in the number 29 from Bloomington, Indiana, it is Steven Stewart. Starting 8th in the number 27 from Jefferson City, Missouri, it's Chad Griggs. And starting 7th in the number 24 from Chico, California, it is Tanner Pettit. Starting 6th in the number 90 from Reading, Pennsylvania, it is Trevor Royer. Starting 5th in the number 57 from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, it is Austin Griffey. And starting 4th in the number 1 from Allentown, Pennsylvania, Kenny Hoffman. Starting 3rd from Cottage Grove, Oregon, in the number 2, it's Kellen Sabo. And your front row from Millersburg, Pennsylvania, in the number 85, this is Tyler Shell. And starting on the pole for tonight's feature from Lemoore, California, in the number 49 Tanner Pettit Racing Machine, your current Victory Fuel No Limits points leader, and 2 in a row winner, the hot shoe himself, it's Ryan Avila. Weedsport Speedway, welcome to the main event. Before you are the 24 cars and stars of the Victory Fuel NARC No Limit Sprint Cars. They've done battle all night for the opportunity to give you the best show that sprint car racing has to offer. 35 laps, 24 drivers, only one will come out on top. On your feet, Weedsport, here are the drivers of the NARC No Limit. Show them the gratitude they deserve for the show they put on tonight. Avila and Shell on the front row. Avila jumps out right at the green, jumps right in front of Shell. Both cars down to the bottom. Shell gets the run. Can't quite pull it off. They get bottled up. Yellow flag is out. Looks like we got a big wreck coming out of turn number 2. A lot of your front runners, Griggs, Griffey, and Sabo, looks like caught up in that. Grandy caught up in that. Oh, it looks like Griffey and Sabo might have gotten together. A lot of cars made contact there. Griffey might be out of it. Sabo might be terminally damaged. Grandy, Sabo, Griffey, Griggs, all in the pits. That could end, and it looks like it may end what was a really great streak for Chad Griggs. So Grandy's going to make it back out. Like some guys have also chosen to go to the tail, thinking they may have some damage but don't have the ability to get into the work area and work on the car. Green flag's back out. Ryan Avila takes the early lead. Kenny Hoffman running the top of the track while Avila and Shell both kind of run the bottom. Now Shell to the top in 3 and 4. Avila clear advantage here. Lots of different lines further back. You can see Trevor Royer running a little bit different than Shell. And Hoffman, yellow flags out again. Really just need some green flag running here. Weedsport, a very, very difficult racetrack. Christian, a lot of guys, it looks like, going up and driving by the pit entrance, like letting their crew kind of look at stuff. Are you seeing anything? Are you seeing anybody in the work area?
Yes, Bruce. A a lot of drivers driving up here close to the pit area, letting their crews know, hey, do I have any damage? Take a look at the shocks, make sure everything's up, all the tires are up. With some of this damage early here in this feature, everybody making sure, all the tires are up on the cars. So just taking some precautions here for a lot of these front runners, making sure that they, if they have a problem, they can get in early, fix it, and be able to recover.
Looks like somebody coming back out on the track. They've waived the restart, so Austin Griffey now back out on the track. Szerzynski, it looks like, went into the work area and got some repair. Joseph Grandy now back out too. Lights are out on the pace car. 1 to go for the green flag. Avila leads him to the green here. Ryan rolls into the throttle, kicks it sideways, and takes off. Ryan not able to get a huge pull on Tyler Schell like he did on previous restarts. Kenny Hoffman still right in the mix. Schell running back to the top of the speedway. Avila continues to tiptoe with the tulips down on the bottom. Now Avila slides up to the middle of the track in the exit of 1 and 2. Taking the long way around a little further back, going to be Mason Hannigan all the way to the top in 3 and 4. Trying stuff out. Can he make something work? Avila starts to pull away a little bit. Half-second lead. Avila and Schell pretty much running identical lap times here. Lap traffic now in play. This is where it gets fun. Avila now moving to the top side of the speedway to get around Steven Stewart in lap traffic. Now we're going to have Joseph Grandy. Avila now moves to the bottom side of the track. He gets through that traffic way better than Tyler Schell. He takes his lead all the way out to a second. Kenny Hoffman able to attack Schell back there. Hoffman is going to get him going into 1. That seals his fate for the moment. Hoffman now starting to reel in Ryan Avila. Remember what Hoffman said in his interview. If I could have just started last week a little bit further forward, I would have had something for him. And this week, he did just that. He's going to start further forward, and that tale has yet to be told whether or not that benefits him. Avila still out to just over a second lead. Hoffman starting to try to figure out how to reel him in. Avila still in lap traffic. That time by, Hoffman able to take about a second off the lead. Avila able to clear lap traffic pretty easily. Schell starting to fall back. Now he's under attack from Mason Hannigan. Braden Eiler in 5th place. Lap traffic being very courteous right now. Ryan Avila continues to tick off the laps. Avila's lead continues to fluctuate, really depending on the lap traffic. But Kenny Hoffman is coming. Kenny takes a quarter a second off of Avila's lead that time. Austin Griffey down on the bottom. Lap traffic. Not going to be a factor for Hoffman. Hoffman runs the top. Avila kind of running the middle. 17 laps to go. Avila now to the top side in 1 and 2. Hoffman with a slider right to Ryan Avila's tail tank. Can't make anything happen off of that. These two pulling away from everybody else. Steven Stewart sideways in front of the leaders, right in front of Kenny Hoffman. Now Hoffman's got to make that all up again, and Tyler Schell and Mason Hannigan are right on his tank. And a yellow flag. Just when lap traffic was starting to get really, really good. Looks like that might have been Blake Carrick on that yellow. Oh yeah, Carrick, it looks like, just missed the entry into one, got into the wall, and nothing you can do at that point. So Carrick with some damage, going back to the tail of the field. Now what's going to happen up front? Kenny Hoffman was clearly faster than Ryan Avila. Tangled with lap traffic. Sent him back into the clutches of Mason Hannigan and Tyler Schell. Avila on the loud pedal. Green flag is back out. Avila runs kind of a slider into the middle of the track. Hoffman loses ground on that start to Avila. Hoffman definitely had a momentum-based kind of run going on in the last green flag run, and that may be what he needs here. He needs a couple of laps to build momentum. Tyler Schell working the bottom, trying to give Hoffman a run for his money. Avila just doesn't look comfortable right now in 3 and 4. Hoffman closes right to his tail tank. Now Hoffman goes down to the bottom, throws a little bit of a slider. Avila up on the top. He's got the momentum on the top side of the speedway. Hoffman's now going to slide him into the middle of the track. Avila able to cut back down underneath him and block the slide job from Hoffman that time. Get to the middle of the speedway. Hoffman's got a huge run down the backstretch. Hoffman right in front of Avila. Avila able to cut down underneath him. Now Avila's going to be able to slide. He's going to go a little bit higher this time, but cuts back down. Hoffman with the sticking to the bottom line this time. Hoffman's clearly going to close that battle for the moment. Avila now on the attack. Fully on the attack. He's not protecting anymore. While all this is happening, Mason Hannigan running the top is starting to reel them all in. He's up to 3rd position. He's gotten around Tyler Schell. Avila now starting to fall back a little bit. Kenny Hoffman running the bottom middle of the speedway. Track has really slowed down right now. It's allowed multiple different kind of grooves. Hoffman starting to pull away. Hannigan getting aggressive on Ryan Avila as the laps tick down. Hannigan's going to throw the slider on Avila. Avila throws all the way back to 3rd position. Avila's going to attack back. Hannigan runs the full top in 1 and 2. Hannigan's going to clear him in 3 and 4 and have the top run, but he's in the wall. Hannigan goes all the way back to 5th. Oh no, he makes contact with Pettit. Pettit cannot catch a break. Lap traffic in play. Hoffman gets around the 518 first. Avila Doesn't get picked by him. Now Avila back to the top of the speedway. Avila starting to close back in. 4 laps to go when we cross the line this time. Avila on the top of the speedway. The top is coming in, boys. The long way around is the way it is. Avila gently getting up to the top in 1 and 2, but fully in the cushion in 3 and 4. And he's got a run on Kenny Hoffman right here. Not able to close it down. Just 3 laps to go. Now Avila fully on the top with the cut down in 1 and 2. That gives him a little bit of run. He now throws the bottom slider to the middle of the track on Hoffman. Ryan Avila's back in the lead. 2 laps to go. Hoffman has the advantage on the entry of 1 and 2. Avila runs the top. Hoffman gets a huge run coming out of turn number 2. White flag out this time by Avila on the top. Tyler Schell's back there waiting to capitalize on one of these guys making a mistake. Ryan Avila with the cut down now. He's got the run. They're even into 3 and 4. Avila runs the middle of the track, kind of counting on a little bit of a slider. Kenny Hoffman's going to be your winner at Weedsport in the Victory Fuel No Limit Sprint Cars, followed by Ryan Avila and Tyler Schell. Tanner Pettit manages to pull off 4th position even after contact with Mason Hannigan after Hannigan got a little bit squirrely up top. Your top 10 tonight going to be Hoffman, Avila, Schell, Pettit, Kaiser, Eiler, Dudek, Hannigan, Chatham, and Trevor Royer in your top 10. 11th is going to go to Rick Main, 12th to Jack Burke, 13th to Vinny Sansone, 14th to Miles Jansen, 15th to Blake Carrick, 16th to Dean Reynolds, 17th to Hagen, 18th to Klosterman, 19th to Grandy, Steven Stewart, Austin Griffey, Sabor Zerzinski, and Chad Griggs rounding out your night. What a race. What an incredible race to watch. And here we go with Kenny Hoffman hopping out of the race car. Let's hear it for Kenny Hoffman, the winner here at Weedsport with the Victory Fuel No Limit Sprint Cars. We'll throw it down to Christian as he hops off the wing here and see if we can't hear from Kenny. Christian?
Well, Kenny, you said if you could start up front, you could bring it home, and you certainly did this week.
Oh, dude, that was insane. Me and Ryan, that was a hell of a race. I don't even know. I mean, he's obviously, everyone knows how Ryan is, and really, really fast kid. And I don't know, just to have a good run with him like that. I was kind of nervous when we got that yellow. But I noticed it was just me and him out in front, and with Shell behind us. We had a decent gap on him, so Tyler's usually pretty good around this place, and all it took was for Tyler to show me the bottom once he showed his nose on my inside, and once I figured I was in, I was just trying to run the grip on the backstretch as hard as I could and making sure I could perfect 3 and 4 well. I don't know, I feel like Ryan was probably a little bit better than me those last 2 laps, but I don't know. Thank God I was just able to hang on. Feels nice to finally get a win. But somewhat okay season. Just Cedar Lake just didn't go our way, and that's kind of hurting us right now. So, just to come back and bounce back after, a hard charge last week to get a win this week, it feels pretty good.
Well, definitely, Kenny, you're the driver on the up and up. Like you said, the first couple of weeks having to sort of start from behind, but I think all the work in the shop and everything is starting to pay off.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just got a really good group of guys behind me, and everyone on my team. I really appreciate all the efforts that they put in. Because without them, not really sure what it would be. Especially without Colin Bocus and all of the Bocus built guys, and just the way that we work together, and it's just something clicks with us, and it's nice that we can finally show it by winning a race here.
All right, and sponsors that you want to thank here?
Yeah, just shout out to everybody in the KSR team: Connor, Bryce, Casey, Cody, Matt. Shout out to Connor. I believe he should have been hard charger, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah, thanks to you guys for putting this league on for us, and thanks for broadcasting for us. And shout out to all of our sponsors and Aces Up Sim Sport, Bogus Sprints, DSD Designs, SMS Racing Media, Fusion Sets, Howie Racing Engines, Frogger Chassis, and yeah,
All right, congratulations, Kenny. Your No Limit Weedsport winner, Kenny Hoffman.
thank you.
Give Christian a second here to walk over to Ryan's car.
All right, Bruce. Yeah, just doing a quick little brisk walk here. Ryan, maybe a Cinderella story just coming up quite short, just a little bit short here, trying to go for 3 in a row. Take us through those last number of laps battling with Kenny to try to get the win here.
Oh yeah, sick ass race. Couldn't have asked for a better one. Just unfortunate. I think I played my cards a little too wrong when I slid him. I should have held the bottom, and I kind of slid myself again. So no, I think I played it perfect leading up to those laps, and kind of just followed him and started reeling him in with the cut down top line. Um, yeah, pretty sick track. Couldn't have asked for a much better race.
Yeah, definitely a great race. You're proving to be the car to beat here week in and week out. This is another podium for your group. Definitely all the work back in the shop paying off. Who would you like to thank here on your team and sponsors for another good night of racing?
Oh yeah, I got to thank everyone at Tanner Pettit Racing. Tanner himself builds amazing setups, as we've all shown. 4 podiums in a row, and then 2 wins for me back to back. Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography. Ethan Johnson over at Free Speed, Trackside Collective, CD Cinematography, and Aces Up Sim Sport for what they do for us, and you guys for broadcasting, NARC for putting the league on, and yeah, looking forward to these next 2 weekends. See if we can go for maybe another win, or this podium streak will keep growing and lead this points lead.
Well, yes, we'll look to see if you can keep this podium streak going. Definitely the current hot shoe in NARC No Limit. Just one spot short of a three-peat here, but your second place runner-up finisher Ryan Avila here at the Weedsport No Limit race.
Yeah, and as we wrap up the night here, excuse me, at Weedsport, we look a little bit at the Golf Dots Challenge. Still not sure on the incidents quite yet. We'll have to wait for kind of a final tally on that for the night. But if we look at the, positions gained trophy, Connor Dudek with 13 positions gained, and I think he had 17 positions gained last week. So he is on a streak of passing a whole lot of cars. Also in that same boat, Rick Main was up 11 positions. Dean Reynolds was up 8 positions. All of those guys passing a whole lot of cars, and even a guy like Ryan Avila, who ran in the consolation, or not the consolation, but the dash, was able to get 6 spots there. So I'm interested to see next week when we see um, the next race add on to that, how some of these guys start to pull ahead or behind in that challenge. So coming out of Weedsport here, a difficult racetrack, put on an incredible show. Would love to see a little bit more racing and lap traffic, but um, outside of that, this track is very hard to race at, and you could definitely see when the track started to slow down. Multiple guys kind of came back in the run, and with 5 laps to go, I mean, there were 6 cars that could have won that race. So, Christian, any final thoughts from you?
I think my final thought is I think there's going to be a few crew chiefs here this week that are going to be busy repairing some cars, pulling some hair out a little bit after this race, and probably looking a little bit like Mr. Clean. But it'll be interesting to see who comes out of this race with the fewest incidents, because there was definitely a lot of elbows up racing. but there's definitely some drivers like Dean Reynolds, um, who have all season been very consistent in keeping the nose on the car. So I'll be very interested to see which drivers come out of this race on top in that chase for that cup.
Yeah, I think the no incidents or the low incidents award is one that's interesting. It's not one you see given out a lot. It's a little bit more difficult to calculate, so we don't have that information until after the race can kind of be reviewed. But once we get that info and we're able to start putting that together, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. I don't necessarily think the drivers that come out on top will necessarily be the drivers that pass the most cars. I think it'll be the guys who are consistent and running up front. So it'll be hard to see that award going to the same person. Well, that wraps us up here at Weedsport. On behalf of myself and Ted York, your executive producers of No Limit, as well as Ryan Wagenschutz and Josh Borowski, Greg Keppel and Chris Vinson in the control tower tonight, and Brandon and Christian here in the booth with me on the broadcast. We hope you enjoyed our race tonight. We hope you all had a good time, and we will see you back next week. We have back-to-back races for the next 3 weeks in the Golf Challenge for week number 5 of the Victory Fuel No Limit Showdown. We'll see you when the dust settles. I'm Bruce Klingen, and we'll see you next week.